So when you ask for a boon, right? Doesn't matter. You just show up. Doesn't matter who you are or whatever. You ask for a boon and Guru just gives, right? And whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen on that flow when you just give and drop it. I asked for the boon to scrub my family's karma clean till it whistles on its own. With it is good intentions, right? But the journey of that manifestation has been very, very intense because, yeah, he gives the boon just for your own clarity, right? Reminding you what you asked for and holding to that integrity and keep aligning, right? And so the very bizarre, it's not even bizarre, I don't even know what to call it, what I've had to endure over the since October of 2023. And it's actually from before that, but the ramping, and it still hasn't gone to the peak yet. I haven't cleared that peak yet. But already it's down to, there's just me left in my family, right? One of the deep questioning, pure questioning and asking Cosmos, how does lineages or Vamsa end? And what I get shown has been very intense. And because I am at a place to build from scratch, right? Looking at all different kind of content, because Cosmos just kind of sends it to me because I am sorting, just like everything else, right? I sort a lot of stuff for me. I'm not AI or Chat GPT. Yeah, I will use AI even with my own avatar that I have programmed for lensing, sifting. Even then, the from where is very different too. Because why? It's a male program. They got patriarchy all up in there. Doesn't matter, even Asnet on the AI. Patriarchy is all up in there. So, one of the videos that really sticks out of all the content that I've been sifting through is different cultures approach family very differently, right? Not dating the person. Her name is Tamara Peltic, I think. Anyway, she was saying that her culture marries the family, which makes sense, right? Because women are really the space of a prism, and they have to get mapped down to that. Well, I don't know. I'm still even meditating on that. Do women, because we're the only ones who are the portals of life entrusted by the cosmos, even down to menopause. Only 3 animals get taken off menopause because women's knowledge for 25% of their life is crucial. The education that they pass down to their posterity. So with all of these things taken into consideration, right? Building a family on that clean slate, if you will. And so I will reject jigaboos who get one here, one there, one everywhere. I will reject empire, right? Because it's not the same vibrational space that I've been holding and doing and saying, and no flinching. Being as gentle as possible with others, but they're still dealing with empire in their consciousness, right? From where they operate, the subtle things of posturing or enslavement or boxing others for their own momentary whatever that they're going to forget about and not really take care of that being. It's not living with, right? So I will reject that, right? So just as I map everything, right? Now I'm getting down to like, how would I, as a power manifester, entrusted by Devi herself, to make sure I keep saying and keep on saying mothers to initiate through umbilical cord initiation. I don't care what kind of construct you got. Just add that in there. It'll automatically correct itself. I fully trust that. So whether, like for him, he's got his own empire with all of his, however, whatever. You know, that I did my spiritual genealogy. It goes to Hinduism, which is, right? Mahanirvana Akada and whatever of all of that. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So I'm over here like in that pure trust unclutching space, facing that sorting as well right now, because I'm not getting any younger, right? And so what does one do, right? And then even like a lot of the initiatives that I do, crickets. So I already know the lay of the land, right? That's why I'm making the videos I'm making. It's pretty intense, I get it. But I'm looking around and it's just like people complaining, but they don't grasp to what extent what it takes to get forged to like huli or flip things without, from the space of individual ecclesiastical state self-governed sovereign, right? People will be motivated to build empire because they want slaves for themselves. I'm like, I don't agree with that. Some people will be like, well, that's a little bit too harsh. No, right? It's not. Contracting without full disclosure is fraud in the inducement, right? Coercion without any whatever. So a lot of people don't even go look at why and how their belief system is built, right? Especially on this land. On this land, Pa'al brought hierarchical constructs only to get taken to a whole other level with the missionaries who came, right? They don't get those things. That's why I'm putting out the content that I am, because people are not going to drop their life, cardiac arrest their life and dig like I have. So consciousness goes on the timeline of eternity, not one life. So I'm at that place too. Be like, nah, I'm not gonna force nobody for nothing. You happy, rock on. I not. These are right. I mean, it's the same threats. Well, women's standards are too high. You're gonna be lonely. Well, I'm not lonely. Okay, I got 4 cats. And even that, it's not necessary, right? Because I'm okay with being by myself, alone. And that's where it gets interesting. But all kinds of things to consider. And I'm saying this because everyone has that opportunity, especially the young ones, right? People who are not married, right? Things to consider, because it's not talked about. Well, what I wasn't exposed to it anyway, growing up, these considerations, right? So, even for myself, right? That's why I'm saying, they're like, I want a traditional wife, a trad wife. What tradition, right? What tradition are you talking about? I'm over here like, this is the latest mutation, and because I've been looking around and experiencing the luau spread of, and looking at different cultures and the men in those different cultures. Granted, sure, it's a virtual tour or a virtual luau buffet, but still, it's like, yeah, no, right? So all I can do is just drop it. You can drop it at Guru's feet, drop it at your own feet, drop it at Paramashiva's feet, Kalabhairav's feet, Ku's feet, Lono's feet. Just drop it and be like, all y'all are responsible. Because just because I don't have that DNA, the bioenergy, right? There's biomemory, meat suit, the DNA. And then there's the bioenergy when you are deeply immersed into an ideology or a thought current or whatnot. You tend to imbibe things, and you will be picking and choosing, right? What you like, what you don't like. And you have that freedom. Why? Individual, ecclesiastical state, self-governed sovereigns, families governing themselves. Body is the homestead. So when you're doing deep contemplation on that, everyone will come up with their own answer. That's why I'm saying, I don't care if you prefer patriarchy. There's those groupie girls who are just like, yes, yes, right? I want to be in the patriarchy. Great. Don't impose that on others. They have the right to live how they want to. If they don't want to be part of a patriarchy, they want to be in a matriarchy or an Ardhanarishwara, where it's we in dialogue, which I prefer, right? A we in dialogue and then deciding what's going to happen. So if there isn't a we in dialogue, then there really is no relationship, right? So, yeah, I'm not going to be a cog in someone else's life, right? And then on top of that, because there is really just me and nothing else, I am not going to be with somebody and be on the bottom of their list. Only one, not number one, right? I'm not going to be on anybody's bottom list. If they got one list of whatever, right? Whether it's concubines or side chicks or I don't know, mismatched kids, kids all over the place. They have other priorities, which I don't. So I will not subjugate myself to some kind of hierarchical list of that, right? Nor do I want to be with a mother's child. Right? There are those, and witnessing some ladies going through things where their husband can't make a decision without asking the mother. I can do that. Now it's different if it's like a group family discussion and a we in dialogue. But even at that, I don't bring that kind of dynamic to the table, right? So I'm over here like, okay, so I would ask for the boon. I'm here, and trust me, The journey has been extremely fucked up. Things I don't want to talk about. But at some point I know I'm going to have to, because why? I'm advocating that all hospitals ensure that both parents and adult siblings sign off on terminating someone's life. That happened to my brother without any we in dialogue. And how fucked up it ended up being in the way that my mom had to suffer the last portion of her life, and the crazy I had to go through. My nervous system is still on fire from that. As well as because of all of that, and being born into the situationship where my stepfather took advantage of my mother and did a business proposal to help take care of me. Now, he didn't just make that to her. He also made that to someone else. Well, maybe 20 years ago. Okay. And so because of all the things, him building SGI and whatever, I'm over here and having to suffer a lot of the things because of that. I'm over here like, no, religious organizations should not be at people's homes, especially those with children, because demons try to go to church, and they do start messing with the kids. Because all of the child molestation is always in the family or family friends. And it gets even more fucked up if it's within the religious spectrum of people coming through your house like it's a fucking ashram, like Swamiji's, right? Imagine that. With zero personal responsibility, unenlightened beings. Now, I'm not saying that I'm just saying that a home, however way he gonna run his ashram and how he doing, that's all him. That's why I'm saying, he doing that, not me, right? Because why? Individual, ecclesiastical, state, self-governed, sovereign, right? Don't need all of that, right? People are like, well, how is it, or it's going to organize or whatever. It'll organically organize itself. That fear is imposed, and it's not real, right? It's not. I agree with minarchy, minimal, but at the same time, the UCC and the contracts, it's more than enough, right? Anyway, if that's what you want to do, because there's UCC and non-UCC, but yeah. What are the parameters? I'm over here just like me standing on what I'm standing on for the last 10 years, just really hard hitting it, no flinching, keep going, keep digging, keep pushing on donation only, not for trade. It's the same thing, through power manifestation only. Through power manifestation only. Prior to that, I was using chanting only. And chanting is a way to manifest. But with chanting, I'm going to explain it, okay? With chanting, you got to chant at least 1 hour to break even your karma, and 2 hours if you want to surpass it. And what is that? You are activating this to strum your spiritual cord, the shushumna, like a rock star, okay? For 2 hours. Just to get right? You strumming, chanting, right? Or whatever, or whatever, right? You strumming for an hour or 2 hours. And then try to be like, and the monkey mind's going ding, 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 right? So that's where I would tell people, you chanting, okay, when the monkey mind going ding, 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 you just have one notebook and then you write down whatever's and you tell your mind, hey, I'm gonna write them down. We got this. I'm remembering it's right here, right? To ease that. So then you can just continue with your chanting. So you're going strum like a rock star and chant. Bibbidi bobbidi boo, bibbidi bobbidi boo. Right? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Open sesame. I don't care what you chant. Okay? Just like it's not the idol, right? It's not the mantra. It's from where to where it's going, which fundamentally at the end, it's your future self. Okay? So you can chant ding, 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 right? You can go 1 hour, 2 hours every morning, or you can sit and power manifest. So why? Because the energy that goes up clears out all your chakras and then opens the Sahasrara, and then you get the Amrita, DMT, or whatever you want to call it, bliss chemistry. You can simply do that by rolling. And then the mind is shut up because when you're rolling, it's doing something. So the mind is like, yes, sir, I am doing something. But when you're doing something, you got to make sure that you're not like, oh, I'm doing it. Because it's not. You're just a flute. You have to step out of your body for all of that to go ring and then ding, right? So you either drop and power manifest, or you go chant 2 hours just to go ding, 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 ding. You can use both, right? I'm not saying that even Swamiji, he does his Om Nityananda Paramashivoham, right? He encourages that so you can be multi-dimensional in your manifestation strategies, right? So yeah, it's pretty interesting right now for me because, well, it's not interesting, it's just been interesting, right? Just staring at the unknown and just no flinching. No flinching. Keep moving forward with full integrity and just keep aligning to that integrity, right? So, do I agree with like arranged marriage? No, I consider that arranged rape, especially if both parties don't even know who they are. And then they're trying to build a life on what, right? But I know who I am. I've been doing what I've been doing, saying what I've been saying, and I still have yet to see anyone that mirrors that vibration, right? Spiritual, physical, legal. There are different ways of saying it. I'm saying it as a prism. Hinduism calls it Advaita. The Native Americans or First Nations, Turtle Island people call it two-legged tribe. It's all the same concept. But, and then even then, people are like, you just gotta know your sovereignty. While they get blasted and hauled away by cops and this and that, right? That's why it's spiritual, physical, legal. Come on. Let's get really real. Now, if there are those who are hiding it, which I'm uncovering, because when you start digging and you've been like mapping people who's who and what's what, and they're not disclosing, and then on top of that, right, everything I've been doing is donation only. Even my first legal book, which I requested, and it wasn't even to buy a book, it was to be able to print it out, because I had the PDFs, right? Because looking at it on a screen is very different than having it in your hand and then being able to make copies or whatever. Pick it apart, right? So, versus going into debt, which is part of their strategy to help defend your people, but you get boxed by pledging allegiance to that UCC cage from the maritime space. You're not even operating in the Admiralty from that maritime space. Plus, you go to school for I don't know how long you gotta go to school, and then you gotta pay like $250,000 in debt. And they don't really teach you shit. And then you gotta go and sign up for some whatever, who's not gonna teach you shit because your name ain't whatever, and you gotta on title or the owner or whatever, and then you gotta do whatever enslavement strategies, wasting your time. Instead of when we are from the get empowered, right? Have to sort through that stuff. So even from there, the clarity that I have, I am not going to accept anything that is not even remotely close to what I'm saying, right? Not interested in being a hospice care wife, right? All of these things. I mean, just so much shared knowledge by other women to be wary about, to build whatever from here, right? And the beings that I'm wanting to give birth to, right? Now that itself gonna get interesting. But anyway, well, we'll see how this part of my life journey adventure goes. But yeah, that's why I'm not at Sano. Fundamental, all kinds of things happen, but at the bottom line, because he's not like individual, ecclesiastical, state, self-governed, sovereigns, families governing themselves, mothers to initiate their umbilical cord initiation. I'm like, yeah, we're a different vibration. Yeah, I'm not gonna go over there. Not that I'm not thankful for boons and Guru Shishesha Parampara, right? It's like, I'm not going to deny my great grandpa, right? Shiva. I'm not going. Right? That fundamentally, that's what it is. It comes down to, just like Krishna is Uncle Krishna, right? Uncle Krishna and great great grandpa Shiva. Not gonna deny that. But at the same time, I'm over here like, well, you know, all of that's cool and all, but I'm trying to go this way. I'm going this way. Thank you very much. Right? Yeah, it is what it is. Pretty intense. But, and then when you look around, there's far too many coffee baristas or confused daisies, and then like spinelessness, and people are like, wow, I'm glad you're doing it. Oh, great. Right? I don't have a choice. I'm looking around and I'm just like, yeah, no, nope. Say no. And cut with full trust in the cosmos, especially because, Why? Koala bear but will land in other people's bodies or even in my own body to protect me from crazy. Right. So he got his work cut out for him. Because I'm just like uncompromising. No compromise on my parameters. And finding out who's who and what's what and what their priorities are, right? They can say a lot of things, but and I'm really understanding why I don't understand American communication style. I really appreciate that lady's content because it's just like, oh, okay. Especially somebody who says direct as I am, a lot of people cannot handle that. So I try my best to be nice, but even my mom, she would always tell me, you should have a little more tact. And I'm like, every time I try to tack things, it gets twisted and taken the wrong way. So I might as well just straighten it out from the get-go, whether they like me or not, who cares? Because I don't even see them anyway. They don't give a shit, right? Hello? So it's just like, okay. And she's like, well, maybe that's why. I was like, no, I'm not licking no ear pussy or licking asshole or fucking whatever, all of that. No, for what? I don't know. It's not a right fit or a right vibration, right? And that's fine with me. It's fine. But it is what it is, right? I'm just holding that space. Donation only. Putting out content. Not just content, but doing the work that I do. That people aren't doing. Very few are gonna go and get forged in the fire that I'm walking. There are those who will, from a perspective of vested interest. So I'm over here like, no, liberating people, protecting Aina, right? And since we're talking about UCC and all of it is just contracts, right? Contracts. Find out where the contract is. What is the contract? All contracts have a performance bond and a payment bond. We're talking about bonds. So we're talking about Series 7 bankers, attorneys, Series 7 bankers, all of that. That's what I'm talking about. Right? Yep. So people going to have to, and I get it, to get to that point, very few will go through it. And then from the space of forging solutions instead of taking advantage. Take advantage. From my perspective, it's because I'm not wiping ass and I'm not running in an adult orphanage. Okay, I am definitely not doing any of that. You can go over here, right? Swamiji does that. He's like, hey, go to Parma Shivasena. Go there, get some training. And then maybe listen to my content. Then it might be like, wait, what? Okay, because there has to be that growth port from my perspective. Go do that. Right? So yeah. Just had to make this video, making content, pointing, trying to help ladies to raise the vibration, because it just takes that. Or you can choose not to get married at all, right? Why go through the trouble? Why you gotta wipe ass, right? Or go through whatever when you don't have to. That's not what you want to do, especially given the construct. So that's why, what tradition? Look at the traditions. Go shopping, right? Go shopping, virtual shopping. You can Google, you can YouTube. And at least you'll be exposed to some spectrum of the different thought currents of patriarchy, flavors of patriarchy out there. The most extreme ones is like the Islamic ones where you gotta wear burqas. that level of control. Only those women can save themselves. If you really care, you go move there. But only they can save themselves from that, right? Now it does suck for Hindus who get kidnapped because they're on that border and they're that desperate. They have shitty DNA. Their DNA is so shitty, right? That they trying to grab cleaner DNA to try and balance themselves out instead of sitting and cleaning up their own DNA. That's what it boils down to. That's why all of these other religions or whatever go and try grab Hindus, because the DNA, thousands of years of that meditation and cleaning the DNA. That's why. Instead of having to work on your... That's like a monkey, right? A monkey trying to leap to a human. It's fundamental. Forcing with force. Right? Why? Right. And it gets really intense, especially for me, because I look at a lot of stuff and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'd rather just wait. Keep waiting. I'm not sure. It's kind of like when the oneness happens, that's when I'll know. But thus far, the oneness has not happened, so it's just like, I'll just keep waiting and keep busy. But I am excited. Next week, I'm gonna learn on the vibe board and then map everyone out. Any grievances can be met with coming down and adding your portion or your piece from your perspective and your experience as your own slot in the whole thing, okay? You're entitled to your perspective and your experience, which is really a small fraction of the whole cosmos. Same as me, right? Same as me. That's why this is the channel. Cookie. I gotta maybe listen to other frog noises to have a little bit more variety on the different channels, because every channel is really just that. It's their unique combination of their DNA creating that content, and based off of what is valuable to them, that's what's coming out. So whatever content that's out there, right? Just understand that. But at some point, instead of listening out, when you look in, right? So if you have a matrix, right, a decision-making matrix and a little compass, that's all you really need to look in and being like, oh, okay, this is where I resonate. This is what I'm looking for. These are my boundaries. These are whatever, right? Yeah. So yeah, I unless someone can, where it really matters, been doing what I've been doing and talking about for as long as I have or longer, it's not gonna work out, because I'm looking to co-create, yeah, on the foundation of individual, ecclesiastical, state, self-governed sovereignty, families governing themselves, body as a homestead, mothers to initiate through umbilical cord initiation. However way that family structure and we in dialogue manifests, that's what it's going to be. But I'm not going to entertain anyone who has a whole list of other priorities, right? Especially because I don't have any. Only what my integrity is, right? If that integrity is not mirroring, It doesn't have to be an exact mirroring, but the main pillars, it's not going to work out in the we and dialogue, because I don't find any joy posturing on someone else. I don't, in any form or whatever. I don't enjoy that at all. I more or less avoid conflict by patriarchal narcissists because they lack the capacity of dialogue without attitude and just being like, no, I'm no better. And it's just like, no, you don't. No, you don't. That's not co-creation, right? You know that for yourself, but not from a female perspective. And then when you get all these hierarchical men and their ego attitude and abusiveness, and they all fall and bend and follow. I'm not looking for that either, right? It's better to be alone than deal with that, right? But anyway, yeah. What direction are you manifesting your life? So just going a little bit of power manifestation. Put who you call upon as God in your third eye or visualization and in your heart, and the prayer that you have, Tatastu, from the space of win, 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 we in dialogue, eternal space of win, win, win. costume. Aloha, Nitiana,